Hello friends. Welcome back to Wonderfully Made Bible Stories for Children. I'm so glad you're here. Last time, we met the prophet Elijah and saw how God cared for him during a long drought. Even when there was no rain, God provided food and help in amazing ways. But the drought was not just about food. It was showing something important. The false god Baal could not send rain. Now it was time for the people of Israel to face a choice. Would they follow the Lord? Or would they keep following idols? Let's begin. After many years without rain, God told Elijah to go back and meet King Ahab. Ahab had been searching for Elijah because he blamed him for the drought. When they met, Ahab accused Elijah of bringing trouble to Israel. But Elijah made it clear that the real problem was not him. It was that the king and the people had turned away from God and were following false gods. Elijah called for something bold. He told the king to gather all the people of Israel, along with the prophets of Baal, and meet on Mount Carmel. A great crowd gathered on the mountain. Elijah stood before the people and told them they could not keep going back and forth between two choices. He explained that if the Lord is God, they should follow him. But if Baal is God, they should follow Baal. The people said nothing. Then Elijah proposed a test. 2 altars would be prepared. One for Baal, one for the Lord. Each would have a sacrifice placed on it. But no fire would be lit. The true God would be the one who answered by sending fire. The prophets of Baal went first. They prayed and called out 4 hours. They cried loudly and tried everything they could. No fire came. No one answered. Then it was Elijah's turn. He rebuilt the altar of the Lord that had been broken down. He placed the sacrifice on it. Then he did something surprising. He had water poured over the altar. Not once, but 3 times. Everything was soaked. There was no way for fire to start on its own. Then Elijah prayed. He asked God to show the people that he alone is God, and to turn their hearts back again. And suddenly, fire came down from heaven. It burned the sacrifice. It burned the wood. It even burned the stones and dried up all the water. The people saw it. They fell down and declared that the Lord is the true God. After this, Elijah told Ahab that rain was coming again. Elijah prayed and asked God to send rain again. Then he sent his servant to look toward the sky. The servant came back and reported that there was nothing yet. Elijah told him to go and look again. This happened several times. Then at last, a small cloud appeared in the sky. Soon the sky grew dark, the wind began to blow, and heavy rain began to fall. The drought was over. God had shown his power. And he had shown his mercy. This was a big moment. The people had to choose. Let's think together. Why do you think the people stayed silent at first? Have you ever felt unsure about doing what is right when others are not? What can help you trust God, even when you feel alone? Elijah stood almost alone, but he trusted God completely. This story reminds us that God is not one choice among many. The Lord alone is God, and He is able to do what no one else can. Thank you for joining me today. Elijah had seen God's power in a mighty way. But something surprising happens next. Even after this great victory, Elijah becomes afraid and discouraged. Next time on Wonderfully Made, we'll hear how God meets Elijah. Not in fire or storm, but in a quiet and gentle way. Until then, remember you are wonderfully made. Bye for now.